Welcome to Mining Indaba 2023. My name is Julian DeRosier from the IIF. I am joined here today by David. Hi David, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Very good, thank you. David, maybe you want to introduce yourself, full name, occupation, and obviously the company you were working for.
Of course. My name is David Van Klaveren. I'm here with my partner Joao Russo. We are with H2 Tech, a distributor of the dinosaur hydrogen technology, focused on bringing it globally to mining and mining-related industries like power gen.
And for everyone, that's very interesting, but right away, strike question. So for everyone that knows already the Dinosaur story, can you explain us the exact relationship between you and Dinosaurs? And are you the same company or separate?
Yeah, we're separate companies. Dinosaur is a public company in Canada. We are also in Canada. We are privately owned. And while they make the product and develop the technology, we take it to market. Our job is sales, service, support globally with large enterprise.
Sounds great. But then if you say distributing their product, which product exactly? Small size, big size, what's your specialty?
Okay, so Dinosaur in early days focused on small applications like highway trucks, things of that nature. For the last 4 years, my partner and I and our team focused on large diesel engine applications. So here we are at Indaba, where a mine would have a truck that has an engine the size of my car or bigger, and we've adapted for that type of technologies.
That's great. So if the engine is that big, should the saving be that big, or can the saving be actually smaller?
So the savings is really dependent upon the application that the hydrogen is used for. We can see a range anywhere between 8 and 13% with our pilots. And so in cases like a generator, which might have the same engine as a big truck the size of a house, it will consume more fuel, but has the same device attached, and because it's running at a high load, could have 25, 30% more fuel savings.
Well, this obviously are promising numbers, and it seems like you have already tested it out there. Can you tell us about how many units are running right now in the mining industry?
So we started with the mining industry about 4 years ago, working with EDC and the Trade Commissioner Service. Brazil, moved on to Peru, Argentina, Chile. And with those large enterprise organizations, you start with a pilot. And we have pilots with many, large senior producers. And those pilots are successful, and now we're moving on to discussions for fleet implementation. So the numbers are often small in the first pilots, but they're significant. And then when you move to fleet, well, then of course the numbers escalate. So that's where we're at right now.
Absolutely. Well, number escalates, sales escalate, everyone makes revenues, everyone's happy about it for sure.
Exactly.
But when we're talking about savings, so we discussed that people that might know about Dinosaur, but so the Dinosaur technology that you're distributing, but basically about the technology, we discussed a bit about saving on the fuel itself, but does it have other advantages than just a saving on the fuel?
Sure. A sort of secondary or downstream saving opportunity is through reduced maintenance due to running a cleaner engine. So oil has, for those that know, maybe an 8% soot content. When you're running hydrogen, it can drop to 1. So basically, clean fuel means less wear and tear on your engine. Less wear and tear means savings in maintenance and other, related sort of cost activities.
And earlier you said you were here, obviously mining in Indaba. Are you doing other fair around the world? And what is your purpose here? Do you have already clients here? Do you have a distribution center in Africa? Tell us a little more about regional.
Sure. So this is our first foray. Yesterday or 2 days ago, we had 0 footprint here in Africa. Now it's 2.5 days later, and we've had 17 appointments with senior producers and related industries like power gen and also government-oriented enterprise. And we foresee from those conversations some pretty serious activity pretty quickly.
Well, this is interesting, and when I went to meet you guys, you were at the Canadian booth, obviously. How's the Canadian government supportive in all your effort of both being here, the ease of way, providing you with space, and so on?
I can't say enough about working with Global Affairs Canada and its departments like the Trade Commissioner Service and EDC Canada. H2 Tech first worked with them almost 4 years ago. Now they've taken us through about 8 or 9 different countries, introducing us to major enterprise that they have a relationship with, and that credibility is now, comes to us. And as a result of that, we wouldn't have got Codelco in Chile, we wouldn't have got Vale, we wouldn't have got some of these major players without EDC, TCS, and of course Global Affairs as the overarching enterprise to bring us to the table. They're great.
Well, of everything I hear, you're just at the verge of very interesting development, both from going from testing, so pilot, maybe to further fleet cells and so on. What is the future for H2 Tech looking up in the next 6 months, 12 months, and maybe even 5 years?
Sure. So I'm going to answer that in two parts. One is we're going to build on our experience in South America and now actually in Australia. But when you're working in mining, you need to work globally, certainly with the major players. You can't just be in one market.
Exactly.
So the next, our decision to come here today was important because companies like, let's say, Anglo American, for instance, we can talk to them in Australia and work with them a project in Chile, but they have many operations here. Yep. We have to be everywhere. So the next 6 months is focusing on Africa, opening it up, which is an outstanding market for us. In the next 12 to 18 months, we will begin to reinforce our activities in North America, South America, and of course Africa and Australia. And as other opportunities come, we'll deal with it. It'll become necessary to establish a clear and significant support operation. All the local countries want local partners. We have established quite a few already in South America, and we'll continue to do that in Africa and other markets. So we're going to be very busy in the next 6 to 18, 24 months, shoring up the work that we've established in pilots as we now roll out to multiple sites and fleet sales and things of that nature. So it's going to be very busy for sure.
Well, this seems very interesting. So anyone who wants to get to know more about your company or even reach you, what's your website?
Well, h2tech.ca, and it's dvk at h2tech.ca. So it's pretty simple.
It doesn't get easier than that. Well,
Yeah.
David, thank you very much for your time. It was very interesting, and we're looking forward to continue following the H2 Tech and the dinosaur story at the same time, because one is obviously not linked with the other, but obviously distributing the technology that dinosaurs.
It's all we do. So we're pretty close.
Exactly.
It's important.
All right. Thank you very much.
Cheers.